Today I have the distinct pleasure of introducing to you a true pioneer in the world of coffee. His name is Diego Baraona. He started working with his family for over 8 years now. And we've had the privilege of working closely with Diego since 2019. So I can attest to his unwavering dedication to producing coffee of exceptional quality, just like his older generations. So his father's, which was fourth generation, became one of the first producers to introduce Ethiopian coffee varieties to our region. This was a bold move that would definitely transform our country's coffee profile. So Diego's meticulous attention to detail, from careful varietal selection to precise processing techniques, has resulted in coffee that is not only unique, but also consistently outstanding. So as we gather here today to learn more about specialty coffee, I cannot think of a more fitting individual to help us understand what is happening right now with climate change and our favorite bean. So, Diego, thank you for joining us once again and making this reunion possible. The mic is all yours.
Thank you so much, thank you so much, Jonah, for that amazing introduction. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. And I'm going to share screen right now. I prepared a short presentation um, showcasing who we are, how are we sustainable, and like Jonah was talking about, some really important topics about climate change. So, my name is Diego Baraona. I'm a fifth generation coffee producer here in El Salvador. I took over the farm of Los Pirineos exactly 3 years ago. So, right now I'm heading to my fourth harvest. So, I'm really, really, really excited. Um, this is probably one of my favorite views of the farm. This during harvest, we dry all our coffees on drying beds. And we are located on the eastern side of the country. It's in the Tecapachinameca mountain range. It's a very, very volcanic region, meaning that we're surrounded by 7 volcanoes, which one of them is currently active. And last time it erupted was in 2015, and we think it's a match on the farm. Luckily, no damage was caused. Actually, it was really good for the soil, but there's always like this like a danger around the volcano. We're currently 80 different coffee varieties. Of those 80 coffees, we have 25 from production. We have Pacamaras, orange Pacamaras, pink Pacamaras, yellow Pacamaras. We have also pink Bourbons, orange Bourbons, the red Bourbon, some Geisha, Sultan Rome, SO28s, Concas, Ethiopian Harars, and Java as well. My father was able to win 20 times the Cup Excellence. Not first place, but he was among the top 20 always. And I believe he was around 6 times in the top 10. So he's still a big legend. I believe the name of Pirineos was forged because of him. He put the farm on the big pedestal in the whole industry. So I owe him a lot of our like legacy to him. And I was able to win fifth place in the last 2 years. So I'm really happy to be able to continue with the legacy. We currently are engaged in wash, honeys, naturals coffees, and also thanks to the help of Sasha Sestic from ONA and Project Origin, he taught my father how to engage in a lot of anaerobic coffees and urban macerations. We learned a lot from him in how to get these profiles, how to enhance cups, how to get coffees reach different profiles. And thanks to him, we were able to like reach new limits in processing methods as well. So the first question: how are we sustainable? The first thing that we do at the Pirineos, we have a big water reservoir. Like I said before, it's a very volcanic region, so there's completely no access to water. There are no rivers, there's nothing in there. So before the reservoir, my father used to bring a big truck with water to the farm, but he realized it was really expensive and it was really not good for the environment, bringing a truck with all the gases and all that to the farm. So he decided to build a big reservoir, which at the moment he can hold 1 million gallons of water. And that water, we use it to, one, to do all the wash coffees, the honeys, just the whole wet mill. We use it to make our fertilizers and apply it to the entire field, and for any other uses that we need to at the mill and at the house, the farm. Because of this, I realized that coffee production realize takes a lot of water. So this is a great way to like not cause any damage to the environment and use the rainwater as a resource as well. And that's the big pool you can see down here. So second point is agroforestry. Um, you can see here in my last picture, there's some pacamaya trees, and on the left we have some bourbon trees, also with pepeto trees. Pepeto trees are the tree that we chose for shade. Why? Because it grows really fast. It's really easy to maintain, and it's a really good umbrella shaped tree that creates a really nice shade to the trees because it's getting much hotter each year. So we need more shade to cover all the trees. That way they grow healthy and they don't look dry at all. Some people also have been using avocado trees. We use pepetos and gavileo. Why? Because they apply a lot of nitrogen to the soil, adding more organic compounds to the soil, and then the trees are much healthier as well. So while I was doing this presentation yesterday morning, I found this picture of 2019 on the right, and this from this year. So I realized all the agroforestry we've been planting so far in the last 4 years. It's really cool to see. If you can see here how the landscape has changed. It used to be a bit more dry because the farm before me and my father, it was mainly focused on just like growing coffee, just for selling cherries. But now because it's more focused on the environment and gourmet coffees, agroforestry is much more important. So we've been trying to populate more with shade trees and coffee trees the area. So it's really nice to see how much greener the entire landscape is right now. And this as well, this is from the other side of the farm. You can see how the mountain on the left, it's a bit drier compared to the one here and from this year. So it's really exciting to see that we as a team at the farm, we are contributing much more to our ecosystem and to the environment. That way we can have a more healthier coffee plantation. And now that I've been running more in the farm, walking around and running, I've been noticing more wildlife. I've been noticing a lot of deers, coyotes, and many other animals. So that for me, I think it's a good sign because it tells us that we are doing a good job preserving the environment and the ecosystem, but we're not causing any disruption to local wildlife in there. Coffee sub products. By this, I mean that besides just producing and selling coffee, we also been trying to find different methods of income to the farm by utilizing the other product of coffee. For example, on the left, you can see our wet mill. Once we depulp our coffees and we get all the wash and the honeys, we select the pulp for two reasons. One, because we been trying to do some tea. Joanna can attest to this. We've been trying to dry all the pulp and some conca de queso su rumem and create some tea. It's like a cascara tea. I think it's a really interesting method of increasing your income for the farm, and as well not throwing away all the pulp. You can also like create some really nice income for it. And also we use the pulp after like 4 months of being the pulp, we throw it back to the farm as organic matter. We as Pirineos are not an organic farm, but I really like to contribute bit by adding some natural pulp to the farm. And on the right, you can see our nursery. Once we are in the dry mill process, we take all the parchment from the wash and the honey coffees and we put it back in the land. And it also acts as organic matter and it creates a really nice layer because it kills all the bad weeds that we don't want growing around the trees. In one of my projects I've been trying to enhance in the last 3 years, I've been planting different things at the farm, different crops. So I've been trying to try with some dragon fruit, which actually this was our first year producing some dragon fruits. I can say it was really good. It's not that easy to produce dragon fruit. I realize it's a bit harder, but it's really nice to see how can I use the land to plant different things. For example, I've been planting also vanilla, which you can see on the right. That's a vanilla from Madagascar. So I've been trying to focus more on also what else can I add more value to the farm by adding more crops. We have also some oranges, we have some avocados, some local fruits called jocote, and many others as well. So moving on to the climate change topic and how it's impacting coffee production. One of the main issues that we've been facing in the last years, I would say in the last 5 years, is highly unpredictable weather patterns. This year, we were faced by the phenomenon called the El Niño, which we were warned about like serious droughts in coffee. Luckily, we were not affected by it. But this year, at the beginning of harvest, we got rain when we did not want any rain. So we were picking coffee ready in January, and we got a lot of rain, which that's not common. It should not happen. And what happened, you can see here in the picture, a lot of the cherries that were still in the tree about to be picked and be ripe, they cracked. And that for us is a complete loss of harvest because the bean gets the cherry gets cracked and then water gets into the cherry, and then this can lead to insect damage and something that we don't really want. It's phenolic flavors. So it's a really, really big issue that whether it's completely out of control and we get rain when we don't want it, and when we want rain, we don't get it. So it's really hard to combat that. There's not really a way to do it. Last class, I was asked if we can add an irrigation system. It's very, very complicated. Why? Because of the terroir and the geographical features of El Salvador. It's not flat at all. It's completely in slopes. So it's hard to add some systems like that. But there's some ways we can innovate. Another issue with climate change is accelerated shade ripeness. By this, I mean the cherries are starting to mature when they're not supposed to mature. Why? Because it's of the really, really high heat of the farm right now and in the country as well. This coffee you can see here on the left, this coffee was picked in August. This is highly, highly abnormal. Why? Because our harvest is around late November to early April. So there should not be any coffee maturing or growing in August. Only green cherries. But this was highly in a unusual case for us. And this for me turned the alarm on for me, meaning that there's something going on with the environment and where are we headed with this? And since it was picked in August, it was really hard to dry this coffee because in August we have a lot of rain still. It's really humid, really moist. So the coffee, even though it's a wash process, it should be easier to dry. It never dries. So far we are in mid-November and the coffee has not dried yet. It's still in 13% humidity, which is insane. And the last topic is the spread of diseases. When we get unpredictable weather patterns and really extreme weathers, one of the main issues is Roya, also known as rust leaf. You can see here in the picture. This is probably the most common plague disrupting a lot of producers in the world. It's a spore. So because of the really high temperatures and all the wind and the rains coming in and out when we don't want it, this is spreading this spore around the farm. You as a producer can control it on your farm. But if you have neighbors that have either one are abandoned farms or don't control this spore, you can easily get back to your farm, and people walking around can also rub against the leaf into your cloth, and then you can walk around and spread it as well. So high heat and unpredictable weather patterns like rain and no rain, they can lead to diseases such as this as well. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to our Instagram at Los Pirineos Coffee and mine, Dio Baraona, as well.